instead of the Lakers getting rest, for Sam Cassell. Bottom line is he's a key point guard on this team. Derek Martin is an okay backup, but they need Sam Cassell on the floor.
Cassell has 3 fouls. How astonishing is it that Minnesota, as Weber shoots here and doesn't get it, Minnesota had a 17-0 run, the biggest run by any team in any playoff game this year. They had a 17-0 run and trail by 13 points at the half.
Yeah, I think if you told Flip Saunders before the game, in the first half, you're going to have a 17-0 run, but you're going to be down 13, he would have said you're crazy.
Foul on Mike Bibby. That is his second.
It kind of, is the theme of this whole series, though, Al. When you think about it, this series, nothing makes sense. You think a team has the game won, the other team wins the game. It's just been a strange series in that way.
They're very bizarre because when you think about it, Sacramento came very close to a sweep. They won on the road. They had a 10-point lead on the road with 4 minutes to go and coughed it up. Then they made a big comeback here to tie a game that went into overtime and had the advantage because of the foul situation and lost the game. Then they win game 4. The next thing you know, they're down 3-2.
Yeah, it's been a strange game. And yet when you look at it all, everybody's back on course. If the Kings win this game, then it's 3-3 and it goes to that final game. And that final game is the game that the Timberwolves have played all year to get, game 7 at home.
Weber.
Wide open. Tossed by Bibby.
If nothing else, the Lakers would be rooting for a 7th game here. They face a more tired team, a team that would come off just a day's rest because they played the first game of the Western Finals on Friday. And, of course, the other thing, the Lakers would have home court against Sacramento, but not against Minnesota.
Yeah, the Lakers are one of those teams. I don't think they really care about home court. At least they say that. I think every team would love to have it. But right when they don't get it, then they say, well, it really doesn't matter.
Leading scorers, Sprewell and Bibby, each with 14. Bibby has just picked up his 3rd foul and is still joined with Dan Crawford. Sprewell from outside has it. And Latrell with a tray to make it a 59-49 game.
Yeah, Latrell Sprewell has been the one constant in this game. He's picking up where he left off in game 5. Big concern with Bibby. If they lose Bibby to foul trouble, then the Kings are in trouble, just like the Timberwolves would be if they lose Sam Cassell.
And that's out of bounds off Sacramento. Sprewell 5 for 5 from 3-point range today. The Wolves are 8 of 10 from outside the arc. Garnett, finger roll doesn't go, and Divac clears the glass. Christie. Wow. For 2.
Again, that's all set up on Bibby. Now look at the defensive end. I really like the adjustment that Rick Adelman has made. He's taken Bibby off of the 2 primary scorers and put them on Hassel. That way, Bibby stays out of foul trouble. Excellent move.
And Bibby right now with 3 fouls. He is the only King with 3. Cassell is the only Timberwolf with 3. Stojakovic pressured in the corner, and the Kings will inbound with 12 on the clock. Minnesota hitting 47%. Sacramento right now 58%. Bibby. Rebound to Weber. And he couldn't get it to drop. And a whistle underneath and a loose ball foul on Divac.
See, that shows where Weber is not back to where he was before injury, Al. Any other time, that's a quick move and a dunk. It took him forever to get the ball out. Just think about it. He got that rebound. Kevin Garnett was falling out of bounds and got back in time to contest the shot.
Weber with a reconstructed knee after the injury last year. Well, 2 things in play. You have surgery like that, and you're over 30 years old, Doc.
Yeah, that and you haven't played all year, so you're playing catch up with conditioning. So there's a lot of things at play.
Sprewell missing out of the corner.
Wow.
And
you know, they put him on Trent Hassel to keep him away from the foul, Bibby, and yet Bibby is just called for a holding. Now, let me tell you this. Bibby's last 2 fouls were not very smart fouls by him. They need him. I would rather give up this offensive rebound than then get caught holding on a 4th foul. And the other one was a flop that they had to give him the foul. So, you know, this is big turnaround here.
Now you have to sit him down with 21 minutes to play in the game.
So now who's going to create the offense? Who's going to create the offense from the Kings now?
And they have to bring Peeler, the ex-Timberwolf, into the game. That call, foul on Christie. And Cassell, you see how Cassell can barely get up. He can barely arise.
He looks like you getting in the golf cart out.
Thanks, Doc. He needs a shot here.
I mean, you know, again, they're talking about the hits. And you watch him.
And that is not only a foul on Christie, that's already the 15th foul in 3 minutes and 5 seconds. So they'll spend the rest of the quarter going to the line.
But with 9 minutes left in the quarter, 8:55, you know, now the Kings, if you're thinking of the Timberwolves, they attack the basket, they get a free pass to the line.
Cassell makes 1 of 2.
This is when the great offense of the Kings is going to have to come through their movement. See, Mike Bibby is able to create his own
problem. The back spasms over the last week or so. And there's a stimulator, and let's check in with Michelle.
Yeah, he's actually wearing wires on his back throughout this game now. They've got him taped to those wires underneath his uniform. So when he comes to the bench, Al, they just have to plug him in, turn on that stim, and let him get treatment during every available moment, Al.
Good Energizer Bunny commercial, I would think, in play here. Shot clock violation. Peeler couldn't get it off in time.
Think about it. The first possession that Mike Bibby is not in, the Kings get a 24-second violation. That's because they don't have that guy who can create the shot.
Bibby with 4 fouls. Picked up the last 2 in a big hurry. That was the first Kings turnover in this half. It's saved at the baseline. It comes back out to Cassell.
And I think they're going to argue that the ball didn't touch the rim, so they should reset the clock. I'm not so sure. I didn't have a good look, but that's what the argument here. The officials are saying it did or didn't. They're saying it did not touch the rim, so they're setting it back to 7 seconds.
I would agree. Looked like an air ball from here, 7 seconds, as they inbounded. Hassel to inbound. Looking for Garnett. Garnett then volleyballs it over to Sprewell. What a play.
It's a staple play that the Timberwolves have run for 5 years because Garnett can always get the ball. They throw it up to him. They know they're going to help, and he passes it to the open guy.
Beautiful tap job, and that's 6 3-pointers for Latrell Sprewell. Stojakovic. Sprewell coming back the other way. It's a 6-point game. Cassell.
Yeah, I think it's difficult for Cassell to get his legs up under him. That's the second 3-pointer that he's been short on. He might have to give up on that shot until he gets looser.
Weber is there. Gives it to Vlade.
See that again? That usually means that Weber is going up. But he can't elevate right now, so instead he has to pass in the interior. Great cut by Christie.
Christie draws the foul underneath. Let's go back to the flip pass from Garnett into the corner to Sprewell.
See, they're banking on the help. And whenever you throw it to Garnett, that guy in the corner helps. He flicks it to the helper's guy, and that guy gets the open shot.
Meanwhile, that foul was on Cassell, and that's 4 on him. So Sam Cassell has to go back to the bench. Bibby on the other side is already on the bench as Christie makes the first of 2.
I find it interesting. Flip Saunders was going to take Sam Cassell out. Sam Cassell just talked Flip Saunders into not taking him out of the game. That's a gamble. Because we don't have Bibby on the floor, I think Minnesota could probably get away with not having Cassell on the floor right now as well. I think Bibby is more important because he means so much more to the offense.
Sprewell goes down, looks to get rid of it, does. fed underneath, doesn't go. And Weber starts back up the court, and Garnett fouls him.
Well, Garnett fouled him all the way up the court. You know, they couldn't see it. Danny Crawford was blocked out at first. See, I like this. Flip Saunders thought about it. He allowed Sam to talk him out of it at first, and you look at him. Sam's not happy, but I think Flip Saunders is doing the right thing.
I think
He's
so,
looking
too.
at the score. It's a good move. You know, you can see it here. Please, coach, don't take me out. You know what Flip is thinking? If I don't take you out, what you're saying is you're not going to play any defense. And I need somebody who's willing to defend out on the floor. I think it's a good move by Flip Saunders.
So Martin comes into the game, and Christie gets fouled and goes to the line.
Smart play by Christie. He knew he had Latrell Sprewell on his back, so he kind of took a jump shot going backwards so he can feel the body and get a foul.
You know, the Celtics next year, why don't you,
I might have
put it into play?
If after they get one, they can shoot like him, I'll have one. That is funny. Wow. I like having long nails when I was a player because I wanted to scratch some guys.
65-55. Meanwhile, when you were with the Clippers, you got cut like 5 times in a year.
Exactly. I was a cut team. Swing.
Good ball movement, but the play clock is now down to 3. Sprewell under pressure misses. And out of bounds it goes. And for Latrell Sprewell, that's the first 3-pointer he's missed. He's now 6 out of 7.
You know, Pete Carell said something really funny before the game. He said, you know, everyone's attacked us about not playing defense. Now we're playing defense, and we can't score anymore. So we can't get them both at the same time.
Stojakovic.
Floating right. You see that? Floating right.
Yeah.
That's what they're trying to make him do.
Sprewell whips it back outside to Hoiberg. Five and a half remaining, third period. 10-point Sacramento lead. Trying to force a game 7. Weber underneath and curls a jam.
Now that's athletic. Wow. An athletic move and a great pass from Divac.
2 more for Chris, and the Kings are up by a dozen. Twice to the finals with Portland, but no Larry O'Brien silverware.
Yeah, and for the most part, those coaches play better teams. You know, I think that's always overlooked. You know, like Flip Saunders, they keep talking about him again, by not getting out of the first round. If you're playing a better team, usually you don't win those series.
I said silverware. I guess I meant goldware, huh?
The golden ball.
The gold ball, as Jack keeps referring to it as. Christie missing. And the rebound taken by Miller away from Garnett. A little lucky to get it back. Christie now. Good, tough defense by Minnesota. But another rebound for Sacramento.
See, Doug Christie, in essence, has become the point guard for the Kings.
Then Weber has it taken away by the quick hands of Hoiberg. Martin drives all the way, doesn't get the bounce, and a foul here on Garnett. Let's go to Michelle.
Well, the fact that Martin attacked the rim was what Flip Saunders wants. Number one, he wants them to run more, he said in the last timeout, Al, and then he wants them to attack the rim. He reminded them, get aggressive. We've only made 4 free throws in this game. He wants them to get to the line much more than they have, Al.
Yeah, 4 out of 6, and Sacramento is 7 out of 11 from the line.
You can tell the importance of the point guard in this series. Since both guards have set out, both offenses look stagnant. They're going all the way down to the shot clock. That's why you need creators on your basketball team.
That last foul on Garnett was his 3rd. Stojakovic. Good move. Can't get it to drop. Matson with a rebound. 3.5 left in the 3rd. Inside the Garnett. He gets doubled. Comes through the lane. Puts it in. Great move.
That move. You know why? They needed a bucket. He ran down. He posted up. And even though he was double teamed, he would not be denied. That's what Garnett has to do in this series.
Peeler out of the corner. Led the league in three-point percentage. And then Miller gets fouled underneath.
Minnesota went to a zone on that possession. And, you know, I don't know if that was a great move. They were already struggling running their offense with Bibby out of the game. You know, in a lot of ways, that allows the Kings to get one of those open shots with the zone. And number 2, it allows them to rebound. And one thing zones do in our league, or in any league, it makes you a weaker defensive rebounding team.
Brad Miller makes the first or second. NBA TV immediately following every playoff and NBA Finals game. You can tune in for post-game press conferences. Live and unedited.
You know, you talk about game inside the game. Right when Matson went in, Rick Alderman called for Brad Miller. So I think what Rick Alderman is going to try to do, he knows that Matson is their energy.
Miller with a rebound. Elbows flying. And a foul.
See, Brad Miller, in a lot of ways, you think about it, he's taking away what Matson does. Matson had a dunk. Brad Miller blocks the shot. Brad Miller gets the rebound. Now he's the energy guy. So it's working out perfect for the Kings. They had to find a way to match Matson's energy. Rick Edelman has decided, let's use Brad Miller to do that.
He was on his way to doing it the other night, but then Derek Martin got into the act with him.
Down with Martin.
Yeah.
Now you look at these two guys in the alley, I would run. I would absolutely go the other way.
There aren't too many guys in the NBA that want to be in the alley.
That's true. That's true. Guys are too strong now. We were hot dog players.
Is Muggsy Bogues still around?
Yeah.
Sacramento by 14. Serviak. Hoiberg. Matson keeps it alive. Garnett.
Get it to Garnett. Yes.
And
that's
Garnett
what they have to do.
with a foul underneath.
And again, it looks like Miller and Matson were getting into it again. But I think the Timberwolves are doing the right thing. They're trying to get it to Garnett. I think right now, with their offense, you can see a little bit out of sync. He's the one area that they can go to him on the post. And I like that Garnett is trying to get it down there. On the other end, with the Kings, they're trying to score through their motion. They know they don't have that great post player because of Weber's help. So they're just going to try to use their motion to score.
That foul was on Christie, his fourth. Let's check in with Michelle.
Well, Mark Matson, the energy he brings to this team is not well understood by his teammates. They've told me he doesn't drink caffeine. He drinks no coffee, eats no chocolate. They'd like to imagine him on a Red Bull, but they've never seen it out. They don't know where he gets it.
Wow, they should call Darryl Armstrong. Get some coffee, some chocolate.
I bet you he sneaks coffee.
He has to.
Weber. Wow. And then threw a bounce pass out of bounds.
The thought was good. The execution of that pass was not. You know, on that time down, though, again, Minnesota went to zone. And without Bibby, it did have an effect.
Cassell still on the bench. He has 4 fouls. Bibby has 4 fouls, and so does Christie for Sacramento. So the Actors alone in the corner. And Wally, who had missed 3 weeks with 3 small broken bones in his lower back and missed most of the season because of a foot ailment, hits here to make it an 11-point game. And then Sprewell creates the steal and the uncontested jam to make it single figures. 71-62.
Look at the Kings offense right now. It's stagnant. No one's moving.
Wolves trying to climb back into the game as the third period winds down. Stojakovic. Wow. Nothing bigger than a three like that when the opposition is beginning to cut into the lead, building the momentum heading to the fourth quarter.
Timely shots.
Serbiak. Final minute, period 3. Christie doubled in the corner. Peeler is alone. Peeler had a 48% three-point average this season, but has missed a couple here in the last couple of minutes, and it's a 12-point game, and Divac returns for Sacramento. Weber out.
You know, Rick Allen's been getting a lot of heat because he's really only playing 7 guys in this series. And, you know, they say you can't do that. I disagree with that. You play your 7 best guys. If those are the guys you trust, that's who you have to play.
Well, if the disparity between 7 and 8 is so enormous, you're right. You can only play 7, you play 7, and Christie scores. And Garnett is down. Garnett in backcourt. He never got across the line. Garnett, as play continues, very slow in getting up. And a lot of agony, and Peeler goes after him. Peeler threw 2 left elbows at Garnett.
Well, I'm going to say this. Garnett threw the first one, Al. Garnett threw an elbow at Peeler first, and then Peeler responded back at him. Bad play by Garnett first. You know, it's a lot like the Miller thing. Now, I don't think they saw Garnett because the refs were behind Garnett. But not a very smart play. And
the craziest thing of all is, why would you jeopardize in a 6th game a suspension in a possible 7th game?
You can't.
Even getting into anything like this is crazy.
You can't do it. You can't do it. And, you know, emotions. I've been in fights as a player, but not now.
Let's go back to the genesis here if we can find it.
Very much like the Brad Miller and Martin play. Very much. Okay, that started it. Now, when you watch them come back down the floor, see, Garnett threw the first one.
Peeler,
watch this.
Peeler has been ejected.
There's the hunt. I tell you, I don't know. You know, Garnett throws the first elbow. Peeler threw an elbow, but it was to the face.
Yeah.
You know, either you eject both of them or you give them both techs.
And now the fans are throwing stuff, and, you know, this is like insane. They've got those batons or whatever they were. I assume they're made out of plastic. I hope so.
They're still going to hurt if they hit us.
Yeah. Look at the glow sticks.
Yeah, this is
the Maloof brothers are up there trying to tell the crowd to knock it off. Hoiberg is going to go to the line to shoot a technical foul here. That's how it begins.
That's how it starts.
Play continued at the other end. This is the technical foul that Hoiberg makes to make it a 13-point game. Now we go back
this
to
right here.
After that.
Bam. That's the first one, and that's the retaliation. And I thought you could see the angles of the officials. They couldn't see Garnett. They couldn't see the first one. So, you know, unfortunately, and the fans are seeing it now, the officials didn't see Garnett throw the first punch.
Right.
You know, they were in a tough spot, the officials, because they were blocked out of it now. But in my opinion, if you see them both, either both guys have to go or both guys get attacked.
As it turns out, for the moment, we know that Peeler has been ejected. And again, on a team with a 7-man rotation, he is one of those 7. You also have Bibby, the guy who plays in front of him, with 4. So Adelman will really be short now.
You can see them getting tangled up here, and Garnett kind of grabs his arm, and that's what leads to that. But, you know, that started it. But the big play was back down on the other end, and that's where they missed it. Watch Garnett throw the elbow right here. After the next shot, you'll see it.
Meanwhile, this is Stojakovic. Normally shoots over 90% from the free throw line, but missing the first. It's a double technical on that end, so he makes 1 out of 2. It's a 14-point.
Now watch this. See, that's the punch, and that's the retaliation. First elbow, bam, back, retaliation. Both are elbows, except for Peeler's was above the shoulders, and that's where Peeler should be thrown out, because it was above the shoulders.
And Peeler does get thrown out. Rodney Buford, who's played just a couple of minutes in this entire series, comes into the game.
But again, you make the point, Al. We were just talking about the 7-man rotation of the Kings. Mike Bibby has 4 fouls, so he has to sit out. Peeler's out of the game, so he has to sit out. So now they're in a lot of trouble.
And Darius Ngala, a guy who could also come in and help out a little bit, doesn't really match up well against the Timberwolves.
The best part of that was Garnett, after getting hit, was thinking about it and then backed off.
Yeah.
So he caught himself afterwards, but very dangerous move by Garnett on that elbow. He could have easily been thrown out of this game and maybe even suspended for the next game.
Exactly.
And you can't do that in a game like this.
The last 2 free throws are going to be taken again because Saunders actually gets to pick the King to shoot them after Stojakovic had gone to the free throw line.
You know what? I wouldn't do it. You know why? Because Stojakovic missed one.
He missed one. I'm thinking the same thing. He gets to pick anybody. So he picks Jabari Smith, who averaged 2 points a game out of LSU, and let's see if he makes 1 of 2.
He's already tied.
He's already tied.
I would have said that's okay. We'll take it.
Yeah, the deal was, I would take the 1 of 2 from Stojakovic. So Jabari Smith only in the game because Saunders said, I'll go to the end of your bench. I'll find the last guy. I'll find the coldest guy. I'll find the guy who probably won't make 1 of 2. He brings in Jabari Smith. And Flip just got Jabari.
Yeah, he just basically gave the Kings an extra point.
There was also a personal foul on Garnett just to do the rest of the housekeeping, his 4th. You've got 6 seconds left in the period. And Stojakovic doesn't make the last shot of the period, but the Sacramento Kings have a 15-point lead with 12 minutes to go in the 6th game of the Western Conference semifinals. Sacramento 78, Minnesota 63 at